Okay, we are back for another self-care check-in. All right, listen. I want to talk today about writing lists and not doing the shit that's on your list, okay? Because I do this all the time. I be like feeling so productive when I be like, okay, let me get down and do a brain dump and whatever, and then get a to-do list from this. I write down all the stuff that I need to have happen. I'm writing down all the things, you know, and then you feel so good writing it down, like, yep, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and it never happens. Listen, it never happens because you don't include your priorities into your habits. You have to do that, okay? That's just the bottom line. If you want to lose weight, then you have to have some type of habit. You have to have some type of habit that goes along with that priority. Yeah, I know it sounds simple enough, but what is the habit that supports the priority that you have, right? If you want to eat right, does your grocery shopping reflect that? Does the things that you have in the house reflect that? Does the meals that you get when you're out reflect that? Like, do you have a habit of doing something healthy to like contribute towards those goals, right? Because like I said, I got so many books and so many lists and so many things that I've written down. And even at work, there are things that I transfer from one list to the next list every day because it's not really a priority, whatever it is. And it just goes to the list. But we're talking about self-care, right? And when you want to lose weight and you want to get like a good diet going, or you want to, like, for me, I want to get on a consistent schedule of cleaning my house. Like, I feel like I write down all the things that I want to clean, and then when I start, it gets overwhelming, and then I'm like, well, I've done well enough. We can stop here. And then you're still living in the house, so shit still gets dirty again, and you're back where you started, right? Like, it's never ending. But I know that if I just say, okay, Tuesdays, I'm going to do this. Mondays, I'm going to do this. And if I just stick to the schedule of doing whatever it is, at least it'll be done that day versus me planning to do it and it's waiting, right? So anyway, that's the whole point about getting out of your head and out of your list. All right, make sure that the priorities that you have set for yourself, especially when it comes to self-care, that they're tethered to a habit. What is the habit that is going to feed that priority? That's what you need to ask when you're writing your list and blocking your time, because I can even block time on the calendar. That don't mean I'm going to do it, because if it's not time tied to a habit, whatever's taking it over at that time can just go right past that block. So anyway, that's personally what I'm working on, is really, really coming up with a life system. Like, how do I hit all of my, self-care priorities and take care of responsibilities and stuff? Like, everything, it needs to all go into one, like, just system, and I'm just following it, okay? Because there's so many things to remember these days. I need a life operating system, all right? Anyway, that's neither here nor there, but I wanted to come and check in, especially as it relates to self-care, because it's so quick. It's so easy to quickly forget about yourself. I'm going to tell you a really quick story. My son's truck wouldn't start a couple of days ago, right? Now, as a parent of a young adult, I'm trying to let him learn how to handle his own things, right? But I was able to kind of jump in a little bit. But he had to go to, okay, so it broke down on a day that he had to go to work. I gave him a ride to work. We talked about the steps on what he needed to do to get the car back on the road, right? And he was off for the couple of days following, so it wasn't really a priority because he didn't need to jump in the car to go anywhere, right? But I'm sitting there thinking, he hasn't even made any appointments to go drop it off at the shop. I already gave him the information. He's like, oh, he wakes up and he's like, oh, I'm gonna call him at 12 o'clock. And I'm like, because I'm older and I've learned about these car things, you gotta drop that. You gotta need to get your vehicle in first thing in the morning so they can already have it and be working on it so you can get it back quickly, right? Otherwise, you're like, what are you doing? Okay. So here we are 3 days later, and he has to go to work this morning at 8:30. Well, yesterday we did talk about it or whatever. And so we made a plan to get up this morning, drop it off at the shop on the way to work. And we did that. And so anyway, he didn't eat breakfast. He didn't get up early enough to do anything like that. And that is how easy it is for you to put yourself on the back burner, right? Why would you show up to a place for somebody else, right? Your job is for somebody else. you haven't eaten, that means that whatever happens, you're going to be that much more irritated because you didn't take care of your star player. All right. For his case, he's 23. It doesn't really matter. He probably wouldn't have eaten this early anyway, if he was in the house. But, you know, I'm just using it as an example for us because, listen, I'm 49, okay? And I can't be going to work a full day without eating anything. If I hadn't eaten before, if I was him and I hadn't eaten before I got in there, it's not going to be good. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I just say that to say, you know, it's so easy to put yourself on the back burner. Do not forget to do something for yourself. Whatever your priorities are, make sure that you're hitting your habits to fill those priorities. Because if you're not okay, none of the stuff you want to do is going to matter. Anyway, I hope y'all have a good week. I hope that, you know, you're doing your self-care, all right, and not waiting for one specific day to do your self-care. I'm your girl, Demita. You can find me on the Self-Care Revolution podcast, okay? That's actually what this week's episode was about, getting out of your list, because I'm tired of seeing people write lists and then they're not accomplishing anything because they're not actually executing or taking action, because after you write that list, you feel like you did something. And no, you didn't do anything, okay? I'm just here to tell you. And you're not alone, all right? Listen, I'm nobody's coach. I'm trying to get my life together just like everybody else. So you're just coming along with me. We're here to support each other. That's it. That's all it is, okay? So, but yeah, find me on the Self-Care Revolution podcast. Get down in the comments below. You know what? I always ask y'all to get down in the comments below, and y'all be trying to get down in the comments below. So don't get down in the comments below. I don't want to see any comments, okay? And I bet you somebody's going to comment just because I said that. Anyway, y'all have a good day. And I will see y'all in the next self-care check-in video. Remember, you're your most important player. Nothing is going to move without you. So take very good care of your self-care. All right? I'll see y'all later. Peace.